12 and 3 a.m. Like just laying in bed, just drinking water.
This is good.
I be doing that. But
We're recording, right?
Huh? Oh, yes,
Oh, yeah, hello.
This is
Episode 7 of For the Boys podcast.
We gotta do an intro. Like, we gotta figure out an intro where we're not, like, fucking talking over each other, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should probably work
like the gaming intros where it's like...
We gotta add that in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So today, we're gonna be going into some more conspiracy theories.
A couple more of them.
Like two more? Like
two,
one, two.
A couple, yes.
Yes.
The topics in this one are similar to the ones as before.
That is correct.
But we don't have our tinfoil hats.
It's okay.
That's a weird thing.
We're in...
Oh, yeah.
What is this, aluminum?
Yeah, it is pretty much aluminum. So it kind of works. Unless they have fucking glass cameras in here. Okay, I'm gonna pull up my notes just in case I misread something. So, we're talking about... What's his name? Philip Taylor Kramer. Yes, he has a middle name that has the same ending as his last name. It's weird. It's a weird name. Okay, so basically, he's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
But an overview would be like, he's a super cool guy, and then he died in a mysterious way. I'm gonna go over just before I get into like the real like conspiracy stuff. I'm gonna go over what this guy has accomplished.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this guy's a genius.
Okay.
He's a genius guy.
Yeah.
IQ of 167, which is a lot of IQ.
Many
points.
Qs.
A lot of them.
Inside.
Yes. His first little, peak.
Yeah.
The first thing that you read about him. At 12 years old, he enters a science fair, right? Because he's a genius guy. He wins the science fair by building a laser strong enough to pop a balloon. And then he joins this band in 1974 called the Iron Butterfly. And the Iron Butterfly is really well known for their one hit single. They're like a one hit wonder. Basically from 1974 to 1980, he's in this band, and they're the first group band. Because before this, people, singular people would go platinum. They were the first group to go platinum ever. So that's pretty good. So, and a cool thing about that is, the band has existed for a long time, outside that range. He only came in as a one-time, temporary player. And during that time, that's when they got the platinum. So, and he was the bassist. So I don't know how much.
I mean...
Yeah, but,
I mean, that's pretty cool still.
They said the crowd really liked him, so that's why he stayed on. I think he was only going to do it, for, a year. But who knows. But yeah, after that, from 1980 till 1989, he studies aerospace engineering. He not only studies aerospace engineering, but he lands a job at Northrop. And Northrop is really famous for being Northrop Grumman today. They make a bunch of weapons and aerospace defense systems.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Northrop, because the company was first Northrop and then Northrop Grumman, because they entered a partnership. So the original one, Northrop, they made airplanes and other aerospace defense things. I don't know. It was all really secret. And this is kind of where the weird stuff gets in, because what he did at Northrop was fucking a joint effort with the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
So, that's the government involved right there. That's the first little taste of the conspiracy. I don't know. But his time there was pretty cool. He actually worked on this thing called AIRS, which is a guidance system. And AIRS is an acronym. And I spent 10 minutes trying to memorize this acronym. It stands for... I forgot what it was.
Hey, look, it's Werner von Kerman. Hey, Werner, how you doing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know, it's a little confusing.
AIR. Yeah, Advanced Inertial Reference Sphere. That's exactly what it stands for. So it's basically like this big like ball,
Mm-hmm.
and it guides the rocket. He was working on a rocket, by the way.
Okay.
So yeah, the rocket he was working on was the LGM 118. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, he's like a genius, like engineer guy. And after this, he starts a company in 1990, I think. Yeah, he starts a company in 1990 after that. And it's called Total Media. No, it's called Total Multimedia. TMM for short. So he starts to. And another thing, which is really cool, he starts this company with Randy Jackson. Michael Jackson's brother. That's two people that are musicians, and then they become engineers. Anyways, when he starts this company, I think either before this or like very early on, or like the reason he started this company was to develop this thing called fractal compression. So when you take a video of something or you take a picture of something, you rarely store the raw data. Like you don't store every single color value for every single pixel. You have like a little algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
So you put in all the data of the image, and then you get out like a slightly worse quality image, but it still looks really similar, right? That's why your phone doesn't like fucking take up 1 gigabyte per picture. So basically, like, he develops this technique of fractal compression, and it's like really good. Like normally, like most compression techniques are like 50-1, so like 50 bytes of data gets compressed into 1 byte of data. He makes this thing like fucking 90-1. Fractal compression is 90-1. So I think each frame of high quality video is like fucking like 39 kilobytes, which is pretty good. So yeah, he's like a genius guy. Another thing about the company is that it actually files for bankruptcy 4 years into its inception. So that's pretty weird. You know, like you got this company that like develops this like really good compression technique.
Yeah.
And they have like this video codec basically. And like not only did they do that, but they also like they had the first, I think, software only video codec. So like back in those days, because it's like the early 90s, back in those days you needed a CD-ROM
Mm-hmm.
and a CD to display media, right? To put videos on your computer.
Yeah.
Well, he developed a way to have literally like software only video playback. So, you know, today we just download and watch a video. The process by which you open the video and watch it on your computer is software only.
Mm-hmm.
So you never have to insert a disc.
Yeah.
So he was the first company to do that. So yeah, it was a really good company, and actually it's still around today. TMMI. I think they renamed it. You know, it's a publicly traded company, and you can buy stock in it today.
Cool.
It's pretty good for all the investors out there.
Like us.
Yes. His dad is also an engineer. He was a electrical engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Kramer. So they worked in the company to develop faster than light communication, which is pretty interesting. So that's where the conspiracy comes in. So basically, like, I think his father, like, oh no, his wife, Jennifer, his wife quoted him as saying, like, he, like, woke up one day in, like, a fucking, like, cold sweat.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, like, imagine, like, pulling up a picture of a kid and then being able to find that kid in, like, a fraction of a second. So the theory is, and I wrote a little synopsis here.
Yeah.
Malicious actors suicided Philip Taylor Kramer to keep faster than light communication under wraps, or like just a secret from the public.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, government. So he died February 12th, 1995.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1994, the company filed for bankruptcy. And a lot of people think, like, because his death was considered a suicide, or a probable suicide, that he was just sad that his company went bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's not really the case, because like the company's still around today, and really I think all they did was declare bankruptcy to restructure, because he wasn't CEO after the restructure.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like I think he was just a major shareholder at that point. The day he died was pretty interesting. So I'll go over like a list of stuff that happened the day he died. That day, the Sunday, one of the directors of Total Multimedia, one of the directors, Robert Papadilla. no, Papadilla. It's Papa Papalia, because there's no D. No. I just thought Papadilla because I write really badly. Anyways, he flies from Vancouver to LA to pursue legal action against the current CEO, which was Peter Olson. So yeah, that day Robert was supposed to fly in from Vancouver and then meet him and like some other people at some restaurant, and then some other guy, another director, was supposed to fly in, and this guy's name was Greg Martini. So Greg Martini and his wife fly into LA, and Philip was supposed to meet him there. So Philip leaves his house at 9 a.m. and then on his way there, he visits Jennifer's father at like some elderly home. And then LAX to where he lives is like 45 minutes. So it basically takes him an hour to get there, right? If you factor in the stop. Actually, probably more than an hour. But anyways, the whole story gets kind of weird here because there's two accounts. It's either that he made a U-turn on the way to LAX, or he went to LAX and he waited for 45 minutes and then he went back. During that whole time period, depending on which one you're subscribed to, he frequently, that's where they used, frequently checked in on like Jennifer, on Greg Martini and his wife, and like everyone else. Yeah, he made 4 calls. The first one, he asked Jennifer, his wife, to tell the Martinis, them, to get a cab, and then for them to go to the Westlake Hyatt or Hyatt. Anyways, the second phone call he makes was to Ron Bushy, and Ron Bushy was actually one of the band members, which is, I guess it also ties in the music thing, but whatever. He tells Ron Bushy exactly this: Bush, I love you more than life itself, and then he hangs up. At this point, they haven't been a band for since 1980, and it's 1995.
Yeah.
So it's 15 years where they're not band members. And then his third phone call is to Jennifer. You gotta sneeze?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
The third phone call is to Jennifer, and he tells her exactly this: whatever happens, happens. And then he hangs up. So then his fourth call was actually the last call he made, and the last account of what he ever said, his last words, basically. So, and this is actually even debatable, because I don't know, I found 3 different fucking versions of what he said. So here's what I think he said out of everything that I heard. I think he said this: this is Philip Taylor Kramer, and I am going to kill myself. OJ is innocent, they did it. What the fuck? What the fuck? What?
And
so,
who was he on the phone with?
The 911 operator.
Oh.
Oh yeah. He called 911 to do that. Yeah, I forgot. I neglected to mention that. So he calls 911. He's and then the 911 operator is like, 911, what's your emergency? And I think he said can I help you? Because I think he started the sentence with, yeah, you can, and then it really depends on which source you look at. But yeah, that was the last thing they heard. OJ is innocent, they did it. And then after that, he hangs up and then he goes missing for 4 years. So they found his car at the bottom of a mountain. So like, you know, there's like roads that go along mountains.
Yeah.
And the drive from his house to LAX crosses through a mountain. But what doesn't make sense is like, dude, like I think they did some forensics, and the forensics report said that his car was there and he was dead before the car was down the hill. And then someone must have taken the license plate off and pushed the car down the hill and then thrown the license plate off the hill as well. At the time, like the policemen, you know, they told the family that he killed himself, or they ruled it as a probable suicide, but most of the family doesn't believe that. Ray said that Philip said that he would never kill himself, and that if he ever said that he would kill himself, he needed like help or something, or like he would be needing help. And there was another thing. It was actually a big thing. Actually, I forgot entirely because I didn't write it down. But there's this book called the clan. It's like clandestine. You just step on my foot.
No.
It's like some book, man. It's like some book. But it's weird because he was like obsessed with this book, right? And in the book, it's like 9 fucking rules or something. The whole book is like a religious sort of thing. It's like a prophecy. I don't know. And basically, like in the 10th one, someone dies in a forest at the bottom of a hill. So that's pretty crazy. So yeah, and he loved that book, by the way. So that's either an epic coincidence or an epic conspiracy. I don't know. I think that was about it.
Okay.
Pretty interesting.
It's my turn.
Right, yes.
We're gonna be talking about